one across.
Get organized here.
I'm always willing to take minutes, but as you know, I still owe you February. Is that Emma?
Which you.
I'll take it. I'll take them.
That's okay.
The Zoom AI, well, that's the pretty good.
We haven't learned how to do that yet.
Just in your Zoom, you click.
They're all recorded. They're all completely recorded.
That is
as
true.
it is.
You can listen to them again when you
Will
forget.
AI summarize the meeting?
Yeah.
Really?
Words, right.
Do you know about that?
I don't know if the webinar format that the city has supports it yet. It's also not my Zoom account that these are set up on.
It's the account administrator to allow it.
Let's, we'll deal with that tomorrow. Let's see.
I mean, IT did give me the privileges to set up these webinars. I've never done it though.
Good to know.
Oh, Courtney. Told you,
Hi.
told you.
Hey, Courtney.
How are you?
Good. How you doing?
How are you doing, Courtney?
Good. Hi, Emma. Nice to meet you.
Let's see.
Can she hear us?
Me?
Yeah.
I can. Yeah. Can you hear me?
We can. Okay, so that right?
I'll have to double check that M was put on the those list.
That's a good note.
All right.
Courtney.
And I expect, she said she'd be here.
Yeah,
Let's give her a couple of minutes.
okay.
The only drawback on the AI is if there's more than one person in a window, it doesn't know who's talking.
Oh, okay.
It can separate everybody else who's on a separate.
Hmm. Well, as long as the content's there, I don't think it matters as much whether, Linda said it or I said it or whatever.
Well, when you have a to-do list, it matters.
Ah, yes.
Make a to-do list at the end.
Yeah.
It did change
Just
where they came.
waiting for a moment to have Linda Brady join us, so hang in there.
It's only like 5:01 according to this, so.
We changed it to this camera. It used to be that camera.
Huh.
Remember, because we have to face the other way? Huh. What a nifty
funny.
little change.
Why doesn't? Wait a minute. Oh, that's here, SBC upstairs. Yeah, because you gotta change the view.
They can see in here, that's fine.
Yeah. Just that the person that's talking may not be heard if they're at the table. Let's
Oh.
see. I think we did. Gallery, Yeah.
That's pretty good.
yeah. We usually do,
Oh, my bad.
yeah,
Gallery.
it's gallery instead of thumbnail.
I see. My bad.
Sam, is it your impression that John Moskell is also not coming?
My phone rang at just a few moments ago and it was from
Or,
the phone speaker.
You don't need power. My friends at Swampscott lost power today.
wow. Was in Cambridge most of the day and it rained hard on the way back. But have you had some real downpours here?
Around 3 o'clock, it was pretty heavy.
Been wet.
Picked up again just now.
Let's see who we got here now. And John called but didn't leave a message, so maybe there's hope. Oh, there's a message, John. I am stuck in a so-and-so, not gonna be physically Pull over and call the phone link that Greg sent. Yeah, he's gonna try and call in.
Keep an eye out for him as an attendee.
Yeah, he's gonna try and phone in, so.
Yeah, if he does it by phone,
Yeah,
probably be a guest, not a panel.
okay.
Not to bother them.
Oh, I can make him a panelist.
Oh, you can, good.
Yeah, because I realized Em wasn't able to join as a panelist. I don't think Em got the proper invite, so I'll fix that.
Are you still comfortable? with
Yep.
that? Courtney, I think, Candace is gonna take the minutes, so. Off the hook. Can you hear me?
Yeah. So I'm off the hook for minutes. Is that what you said?
Okay, yeah,
I
Candace is
would-
gonna take the minutes.
But if
Okay.
if you've been dying to do them, I don't want
Yeah.
to take it from you.
No,
but-
no, enjoy. I actually am having a little technical issue where I don't have my second monitor. And so
Sure.
I was already thinking about how that was gonna annoy me.
Okay,
Of course, yeah,
you're more diligent than I am. Your minutes usually come out about the next day, so.
yes, she's awesome.
You're
Yeah,
awesome.
She's fast too.
But-
Let's see. Let's see. So, sending.
Be able to see it. Pops up.
Where Linda is, but let's get going anyway. All right, welcome everybody to the Clean Energy Commission meeting of September 25th, 2025. We're at the Rose Baker Senior Center, second floor conference room. And we have, I'm going to call the meeting to order and introduce our members. Oh,
Linda.
there's Linda.
Yeah.
Hang on a minute, we're waiting. There's Linda.
Somebody up there, that's good, it's you. Oh, that's Emma, that's Emma. Important.
Yeah. Sarah, she said that is she still on there?
Courtney's still here. I think she just turned her camera off.
I'm still here. I'm just trying to fix my monitor
Oh,
thing.
I see. Yeah, you took your picture. of-
My professional IT help has entered the room,
Right.
which is my
of course.
husband. So he's trying to fix my monitor.
Okay, I'm gonna continue with the call to order and the introduction of Clean Energy Commission members. I'd like to welcome Emma Struble. Emma, thank you so much for calling in from Paris today. We are supremely envious, of course. Hope you're having a wonderful visit. Emma is my neighbor and in Lanesville, just a couple of blocks over. And we're thrilled to have you join the commission. Really, thank you so much. And also with us is Courtney Allen, Candace Wheeler, Linda Brayton. And our guest is Tom Meekus from Tom Green. Welcome, as always. And Candace McCall is here as sustainability coordinator. Great. So moving on into our next piece, we have approval of minutes. We need the March, April, and May minutes. I am guilty of not providing the May minutes one more time. We have a report on April with
Mine, there was 1 month that I delivered and 1 month that I didn't.
Okay,
So I owe you, I think I might be the March.
right.
Try to get on that
I
case.
think April is Candace. Candace and I am Sam, and we will take that up at the next meeting. All right.
Okay.
Moving on to new business. And we're gonna do our staff report first.
Or do we want to have Emma introduce himself?
Oh, yeah, Emma, do you want to say a few words? Didn't mean to
Uh,
steam past you there.
not really, but I'm happy to. I don't know. I'm very excited to join the commission. Yeah, I feel like even when we just had a quick coffee with like a subset of the members a few weeks ago, I already was learning a lot. And yeah, I'm excited to learn more and also see, how I can contribute. I guess I will also say I'm still not technically like 100% officially a member yet, I think, because I wasn't able to join the city council meeting on Tuesday because it was at like the same time as my flight was boarding to get here.
Yep.
But we're getting there though. I'm making my way through the process. And then I think with the next month's city council meeting, I'll be 100% official.
Okay, that's great. Okay, well, very good. Okay, new business, staff report.
Yes.
And Bailey, you're gonna talk a little bit about the climate leaders specialized building code presentation for the council, the city council following the elections.
Yes, so we're on kind of a pause with advancing our climate leaders initiative. Only because there is the potential for a lot of shakeup, city council wise. There are 3 contested boards, well, 2 fully open at-large positions. So, going to the city council now and getting their support, if they're not able to vote on it before this changeover, we're starting from square one. So talking with the director of community development, my boss, and with the city council, they think it's best to wait till the new term starts. That way, we're not potentially building up this momentum only for it to fall through because half the city council is no longer theirs. The current plan is to go to city council and do a brief presentation on what the opted building code is and how it relates to climate leaders. Likely then we will have to go to ordinance and O&A ordinance and administration, where I would like to invite our Green Communities representative Dylan Patel to give a more in-depth presentation on climate leaders and the building code itself, as well as inviting Rob Vicari, the director of the building department. Hi, John.
Hey, John.
Hey guys, sorry about this. I was trying to log in and I was in a bad cell area and now I'm driving through Beverly and so anyway.
Thanks for joining
I'm
us,
here,
John.
and, yeah, you're welcome. I'll just sit here and shut up now.
John, we just started the staff report and Bailey is describing how we're going to handle the building code presentation after the election. The stretch code, the new stretch code building code expansion until after the election. Bailey?
And then after O&A, should it be voted on favorably, we'll go back to city council. And I'd like to hopefully either at that first city council meeting or the secondary city council meeting, I'd like to invite Neil Duffy, the director of sustainability from the city of Salem, to give a presentation. He has previously worked for the Green Communities Department in, I believe, Dylan's role. And he has firsthand experience in how adopting the opt-in building code has impacted Salem and their residents. So I think having that nearby community experience would be really good to give the city council and the residents an idea of what changes.
What's his name again?
Neil Duffy.
Neil Duffy.
And the Dylan from Green Communities, what was his last name?
Patel.
Patel. T-E-L. So it was him and one other person that you wanted to have come.
Yes, the director of the building department, Rob Vicari.
Okay.
I know in the past I have shown you guys a climate leaders presentation. I still have that. It hasn't changed, except for I have been trying to keep on the top of my mind to update how many communities in Massachusetts have adopted the opt-in building code.
Mhm.
I haven't checked since July, so I'm a little behind, but as of, I want to say July 1st, 55 communities in the state have adopted the opt-in building code.
Pretty good.
That is good.
I assume since then number has gone up because the end of July was the most recent deadline to apply to be a climate leader. The next one's in December.
Okay.
So I'm sure we'll see an uptake in opt-in communities between the last time I checked.
And are you thinking of inviting these people for the O&A meeting or for the general council meeting?
O&A would definitely be Green Communities, Dylan Patel, and our building department director, Rob Vakari. I think Neil Duffy would be good if we needed to further explain the residential impact to the council themselves at a secondary meeting where they would vote on it.
So introduce it, have it sent out to O&A, have these people come and speak to the small group. Hopefully they recommend and we come back to a larger group meeting. Okay, sounds good. Comments? Any comments on that strategy? All right,
All good is what I would
that's
say.
excellent. Yeah,
And I'm
and
surprised at how
people,
well it's being picked up around the state.
I mean, our current mayor, we are lucky to have support for this move, for this strategy. We don't know who our mayor will be in November. But I am guessing that if it's Paul Lundberg instead of Mayor Verga, probably support this, but I could very well be wrong. I don't know. So, Yeah. yeah, yeah. Okay, great.
Do you have any questions, or
Have you broached this with the building department?
they actually broached me about it? They approached me before I could even get to them.
That's not a barrier.
I don't see that being a barrier. My biggest goal with that would just be to find a way to support them so that they are able to enforce these more stricter building codes without being inundated, or overwhelmed. I'm looking for different ways I can support them. They are supporting me.
You know, way back when, back in 2009, when Linda and I were logging through this before you joined, and we had to get the new stretch code, building code adopted for the first iteration of Green Communities. There was a staffing shortage then at that time in the building department. And we got Bill Sanborn an extra half a person per week. I don't know which half of the person showed up to go to work, but it worked out and they actually supported us in moving this thing forward. So that was 15 years ago now. Yeah, right. Time flies when you're stretching the code. Okay.
Oh, that's a stretch.
Right. Next up.
So
The day job, Sam.
Yeah, sorry, John, I couldn't resist.
That's all right.
Yeah, just pull over and I'll try not to pull up to
Don't.
yeah.
and then some general grant and ongoing project updates. I'm currently trying to, DPW is currently replacing the downtown public EV chargers at the Gloucester House and City Hall. That inspired me to replace the EV chargers at the City Hall Annex on Pond Road. That's currently in a little bit of a stall, but we are expecting to, once hopefully we get the contract signed and we apply for a mass EVIP grant, it would cost $5,648 out of pocket to replace the two existing chargers that offer 3 ports. Well, technically there's only 2 because one of them got hit by a plow.
Oh,
So we went from 3 ports to 2, and they're also over 10 years old. So they're, I want to say, level 1 chargers. They're very slow. And our health department, our building department rely on having our EV vehicles charged so that they can go and do their site visits. So we lost 1 port, and they're also just not very good. So for $5,648, we can get 4 ports with the 2 level 2 charge point chargers. Those would also be available to the public, just like the downtown ones. So it's even better that we're going from 3 to 4. That way, if the public at the yoga studio or someone at Common Crow needs to charge their car, hopefully that wouldn't get in the way of the builders or the health department staff going to do their site visits.
Four new chargers at the City Hall Annex.
2 chargers, 4 ports.
Okay, 2 chargers.
Each site.
It'll be level 2, so it'll be nice and speedy.
Next up is,
400 tree grants.
Yeah.
I have not heard from 400 Trees, also, which is a part of Biomimicry New England. They applied in conjunction with, in partnership with the city for a cooling corridors grant for downtown tree plantings to mitigate the urban heat island effect in our environmental justice communities. As of now, as of yesterday, they haven't heard anything. Still, I'm assuming it's due to an inundation of applicants for these state and local grants, just where federal grants are non-existent or municipalities aren't trusting the effort to go through with these federal
Mhm.
grants. I've noticed that a lot of our local, state and quasi-state entities that give out grants are just completely inundated and backed up with applications, which I would assume is the guess here, or is the issue here. There was another grant that I applied for in partnership with 400 Trees, which was the Accelerating Climate Resiliency Grant through MAPC. That was to do a downtown tree inventory to tally existing trees, potential planting sites, and also mark where trees have been cut down. And that would create a database. That way we know either where trees have failed in the past and where there's a need for new urban greening. Unfortunately, we were not selected for that grant. They had received more applications than they had anticipated. So we have not received that one. Another grant we didn't receive was the Municipal Vulnerability Preparedness Action Grant. And that was to widen 2 culverts, one on Hart Street and one on Witham Street. Those were low-ranking projects by MVP standards as they border environmental justice communities. They're not within them physically.
what was the name of the grantor? Homeowners? What's the name of the grant?
The MVP Action Grant.
MVP action. And that was the homeowner builders, what was the title?
The culverts.
Yeah, what's the
Um,
title of the grant?
the MVP Action Grant.
Okay, thank you.
Municipal Vulnerability Program
Sorry.
planning.
You get everything. you
And
need.
those 2 streets were
Witham and Hart Street.
with them. Did not. Once again, a swamp of applicants.
Yes.
They also just weren't, I think, what the grant program was looking for. In
Just
terms of the
outside.
project. There are specific grants out there from, I believe, CZM that are mostly culvert based, which I think that'd be probably be a better fit. Geothermal site at the high school. I think we had discussed that we didn't receive the Empower grant for test drilling. So I'm currently looking into Green Schoolworks funding through the Mass Clean Energy Center. They said, while this isn't traditionally a project that would fall under this grant, they're very curious by the prospect of a utility network geothermal system, that they're willing to consider it. The next round of funding for that comes out in October. So I'll be keeping my eye out for that.
Sorry to make you repeat, but the name of the thing you'd like to try the application with.
The Green Schoolworks.
Green schools.
There's also another grant that is a bit more competitive. But we do qualify just barely for it, is the Tessie grant. which is the Transforming Energy in Schools initiative. That, so Gloucester High School would have to have a minimum 40% low income student population. We have 43%. There are a lot of schools that apply for this grant with 80% or above.
Okay,
So it's very competitive in terms of our demographics compared to the ideal schools that this grant aims to have decarbonization efforts for.
and this again would assist the geothermal piece?
Yes, it would fund the test drilling to see if it's even possible to have 4 wells
Yep.
on the site.
Did the consultants who sort of designed that program think that it was likely we could get 4 wells? Or is it a real squeeze?
It is a complete unknown. They can't tell just by GIS mapping or just kind of without drilling, they can't know.
Yeah.
They aren't sure that the wells will or won't flood. They're unsure if that they can drill far enough to make the utility network system functional.
Mhm.
So it's going to be a whole secondary study. That'll involve at least one test drilling site.
Mhm.
That's kind of the biggest hurdle right now is just funding that test drilling to make sure we actually do a system.
So,
When will we know on the Tessie?
Tessie is due to open in October as well. I was advised not to go for it at first because we didn't qualify. But then in a meeting I had earlier this week, it turns out we did qualify. But luckily the deadline we missed was just the expression of interest form. We don't need to submit that to apply. So I was like, no, we do qualify.
more than qualifying, 43%.
But 80, which is really good in many ways.
All right, Green Communities,
Yes.
MVP, MAPC updates.
MAPC already did, MVP
Yeah.
did. Green Communities, that's good news. We did get a grant. We got a grant for $53,659 to insulate and air seal the attic of City Hall. That is estimated to save us $2,064 in operational costs a year and reduce municipal greenhouse gas emissions by 7 tons. The total project cost is $87,468, with National Grid giving us $28,000 in utility incentives. And I threw in a $5,000 match. Put a bit of skin in the game. That is one grant we got.
Yay.
Yeah,
That's a good one.
yeah, it's a
Yeah.
good one.
And then
Community First,
we got it a while ago, but it took a bit to process. We did get the 3-year Community First Partnership Grant. That is with Mass Save, which is sponsored by National Grid, and that funds Linda Stout's position as the city's energy coach. So she will be here for another 3 years,
Great.
helping residents and connecting them with energy saving, housing, efficiency project resources.
and then came
Hey
through.
guys, I'm
Mass
gonna
Base.
sign off real quick because I just pulled into the parking lot. What room are you in?
We're
Upstairs.
upstairs, same room as always,
Where, Sam?
upstairs in the Rose Baker.
Okay.
upstairs
I'll see you in
conference
2
room.
minutes.
Okay, thank you.
Forgot he was there. I was like, who is that?
Okay.
Did you say we have received those Mass Save funds to hire Linda for 3 more years?
They've all been processed. And that will also, jump a little ahead, that also funds our annual energy fair. October 28th here at Rose Baker. Hosted by Linda and myself, I guess. Linda's the real brain behind it. And just last Monday, the city, or I, in coordination with our engineering department, applied for the GAP 4 energy grant. Previously, Gemma, the last sustainability coordinator, the engineering department got GAP 3 funding to improve West Gloucester, the energy efficiency section, getting VFDs installed, improving.
Hey, John.
Hey, hello.
Hats off, please.
Or this just for you, Sam.
Put mine on too.
We'll duke it out.
So Gemma and the engineering department 2 years ago had gone GAP 3 funding. So we decided again to go for GAP 4. We applied for $348,856 to install 3 VFDs or 3 exhaust fans, a
This
set
is
of
what you've applied
VFDs.
for?
Yep. The VFDs and a new transformer at the Haskell Reservoir Pump Station.
Why are we paying for transformers? Those are usually owned by the utility company.
We got a grant, we're applying for a grant to, but.
Okay.
Um,
I mean, if there's a transformer that's bad, it's really on National Grid to replace it because they're the owner of that system and that's what we pay rates for.
VFD,
VFDs.
Variable frequency drive.
this is for the water.
Yeah, the Haskell Pump Station. We are waiting to get incentives from National Grid to cover the transformers.
Okay.
I just couldn't get them in time before the grant application, because we'll also be placing a transformer at West Gloucester. And an effluent pump at the Wallace Pump Station. Roughly about $348,856, with a city match of $38,761.
And that's been applied for, or
On my own notes.
Okay. I thought it might be something.
where does the GAP 4 come from, that funding?
That is from the OER, Energy Resource.
OER?
Yeah.
That state as opposed to federal. right?
Yes.
Yeah, all the federal money's going away.
Yeah.
Don't even talk about it.
Yeah, the engineers sent me a grant today and they're like, hey, this was good. And I said, that's from the EPA.
Yeah, the only thing I would be applying for from the EPA these days is anything related to water infrastructure. All the other stuff they're pulling back.
Okay, MVP partnership 2.0.
Yes, I was hoping by now to have received the invitation for Gloucester to join the MVP 2.0 program. I haven't received anything yet, but I know we will, as will Essex and Manchester, if not mistaken. They'll be in the same group as us.
Yeah.
And so a very brief explanation is it's a 14-month-long process where a team of city staff and residents come together and create a very small seed project shaped by residents. That could be transit-based, it could be energy-based, health-based. And we go out into the community and talk to environmental justice communities and engage them on what they want to see change in their community to feel either more independent or more supported by the government. That takes about 2 years. Creating the team is just 5 months. Another 5 months is reviewing past efforts with the MVP program, and then it takes 13 months to create and implement the project.
It's just in addition to the regular MVP program, right? This is
To qual-
MVP 1.0 is not going away.
No, but to qualify for the MVP action grants that we've applied for in the past, we have to do 2.0.
Ah, I see. Well, there may be an opportunity that we, Tom and I both attended the initial, and you did too. I thinking, staring at you the whole time. But that may be a good opportunity to work with,
Town Green.
the town green piece to get that done, because that will set up, boost them up too.
Yeah, talking with Greg and Maureen from Town Green, I see what they're doing with March, which stands for, write it down, because I always mess it up. Mitigation, Adaptation, Resiliency Climate Hub.
Yeah.
I think the exact kind of efforts of going out into the community, engaging with residents of environmental justice communities who don't have the same resources
Yeah.
as, wealthier residents, is exactly what MVP is aiming to do. I think there's either aim for collaboration there or uplifting one another through this grant program.
So will the city residents and staff be the ones to interview people in the environmental justice communities? So they're not bringing in a separate group of consultants?
No, when I was part of Peabody's MVP 2.0 program very briefly before I started working here. Our residential advocates consisted of a food pantry staff member, residents who lived in the trailer parks off of Route 1.
Yeah.
There's another resident who worked, I believe, for the schools. And then mostly the city staff members consist of the health department, community development, city planning. I think someone from DPW was also.
Yeah, that could make a really interesting March meeting. Actually, to pull that together, and we could even go off-site there. We don't really have a site. We could go to environmental justice site like a church or a social club. Translator and go for it.
Yeah, I know Rockport hasn't done MVP 2.0 yet. If I'm not mistaken, Robert told me today that they missed the last invite. But they'd like to try and levy either this kind of program or just a future MVP action grant to do a more collaborative regional project, since Essex and Manchester will be in the same round as us. Cohort.
That's it in the staff report. And I ask one quick question, and that is, in previous staff reports, we talked a little bit about the electricity supply for Cape Ann and the whole area north of Beverly. Is anything happening in that issue?
I spoke with a National Grid representative early August or late July. He said we should be getting a new transformer site soon, closer to Gloucester, and he says that will help the grid here. I have heard nothing about that. I have no idea where that site is. And I have no idea what soon means in utility company terms.
If they're doing a new transformer station, soon means a couple of years. Because just the backlog on equipment is years long for that. Well, pole transformers, they have those in stock, but the other stuff takes a while to get. And anything bigger than that, bigger than just a station upgrade or a new transformer station, none of it is in the ISO New England 10-year system plan. And so nobody's looking at doing any major upgrades to the regional transmission system for this part of what they call the NEMA zone. If you want that done, you got to get much more politically active at the state level to push something like that to happen, because you're talking, $1 billion or more in spending to do that kind of upgrade.
has Manchester gotten any relief from, I know they're concerned about the cell signaling project.
No,
And I mean, they're still stymied.
there's nothing going on.
Okay.
And so there's nothing in the 10-year plan for regional transmission. Cell Signal is on their own. They're being asked to pay for their own upgrades, for that. And so, if you want this kind of stuff to happen, it's got to happen. You got to start getting on Senator Tarr's case. You got to start getting on whomever our representative is going to be, going forward on their case. And they're going to have to collectively, do some stuff at a regional level to start pushing for that kind of solution.
That would be probably the next iteration of the ISO 10-year.
Yeah, and they update the 10-year plan every 2 years. And so, but nobody's even doing a study for this right now. And so, like all of these things, utility stuff moves in geologic time, and and they're going to have to study it for a while too to figure it out. But right now, what they're saying is, with the projected levels of economic growth around here, there's enough transmission capacity to meet that. But there's a chicken and egg thing there, because nobody's moving here if they're seeing large power needs that they don't have them, and it's going to take 5 years, 10 years to get that kind of upgrade. So you're in this sort of destructive doom spiral, for that. And so how to get out of it, that's going to take political will. It's going to take business coming together, to talk about that, chambers of commerce and other things, to do some serious economic projections to drive these people to decide that they need to study what would need to be done to meet that kind of energy demand.
Glad you could make it tonight, John.
Yeah.
Sure do know a lot.
One other,
I don't know anything useful.
Yeah, you
That would be a really bad Jeopardy contestant.
No, it's good. Sound good.
Yeah, that's right.
is there anything that something like cell signaling could do to become independent of that grid? In other words, if they put up, 5 wind turbines and thousands of racks of batteries.
No, and not with the amount of power that they're talking about. The kinds of wind turbines they would need to put up, you're gonna have to deal with zoning in Manchester and, whether they're gonna, that becomes then, sort of a local issue. And then you've got the issues with interconnection and backfeeding into the, grid, and whether or not they would be exceeding some thresholds for that. The other thing they could do is what a lot of these data centers are doing, is just put in some gas turbines. There, we don't have enough gas service up here to, accommodate something like that. And I don't think the DEP would permit them anyway. And so,
Interesting.
Good question, though. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
Quickly, what is the amount of power that they're interested in?
That what?
That's
Or the scale.
What are
Yeah,
cell signals power needs? I think you're in from what I've heard, you're in at least 10 megawatts of demand, for them. But I don't know any of that for a fact. But they're going to be a big power user, is, what I've heard.
I can try and find that,
I don't need an exact amount, but you mentioned at the
Yeah.
power level that their their need level is.
Yeah, we need sort of an order of magnitude estimate, for that would be helpful. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great. All right. I think what we had on for discussion, if there's no further questions or updates that people want to hear about, is we sort of covered it already, and that is for support by the commission. The first thing we've got coming up, of course, is the Energy Fair. We welcome anybody that wants to come down. Bailey will be there. I'll be there. Generally, Linda shows up. Candace will probably be there this year because she's around.
When is it?
October 28th. It's
47
here, downstairs here.
What day of the week is
And
that?
that is
I don't
a Tuesday.
It's
3
a-
days before Halloween, so Tuesday.
Oh, so that's like a work day. Yeah, it's a Tuesday. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I'm
4/7.
I'm stuck in
right?
town.
So.
Given the way my commute was tonight, there's so.
Would you be
Don't envy
needing
that.
us to be explaining anything particular or just general helpfulness?
I think it'd be good to have some materials for climate leaders out, just general information,
Yeah.
just to kind of make the residents aware of what's going on. I have some flyers. I can edit them as you guys see fit. I can, I believe I've sent them before, but I can resend them.
Yeah.
I think, I don't know where I'm going to be tabling specifically. Ideally, probably with you guys, so I can talk about CEA as well.
So I plan to sit behind climate leaders and try to answer any questions and sort of general scheduling. I think that's sort of where we're at this year. If you have other assignments for us, you can sort of divvy it up when we get down there.
And National Grid will have its good people there.
Yep.
National Grid will be there. Also be there, the Open Door, library. Trying to get Black Earth Compost to attend. Town Green will be there, of course. The Climate Coalition will be there. Nice little hodgepodge.
Great.
Are Town Green and Cape Ann Climate Commission at the moment involved in any particular programs that they're pushing? Tom, you might know the answer to that.
The energy fair? I
Yeah,
hadn't heard.
okay.
Tom Green just launched their March program. And basically a collaboration between the four Cape Ann communities to get things done around climate resilience. But I'm sure Maureen will stop by.
Yeah, Maureen will
And-
probably be the one tabling. I believe she was last
Yeah,
year.
and I'm sure Greg will be by. Greg Faderspiel is now running March, so that's really helpful to have two really good people, staff people working on in that end.
Yeah, what each individual group will be tabling on is kind of up to them. While it is an energy savings fair, we welcome any kind of resources that residents could utilize. Be brought to the table.
Yeah. Great, so there'll be at least three of us there, and there's usually a ton of free pizza, so that's an
There's free
added
pizza.
incentive. I totally overdid it myself last year, so looking forward to that again.
You could have played action.
Action will be there, yes.
Actually, yeah. And this is just a side note, but I know that it's too bad Sarah's not here because at some point, National Grid is to come out with a
Heat pump,
heat pump rate.
yes.
Will that be available by 10/28, you think?
So I'm not 100% sure. I just looked into it, gosh, maybe Tuesday afternoon, and the articles I was reading didn't have any definitive date set up. If you had a heat pump installed by Mass Save, you'll
Right.
automatically be enrolled in a new distribution charge.
Yep.
I don't have the exact cent amount, but it's somewhere around, it's currently sitting around somewhere 6.48 cent per kilowatt hour for distribution. And the
That's
heat pump,
percentage savings or the
uh,
rate?
No,
That's
it's
the rate.
6.5 cents per
Oh.
kilowatt hour.
and then it'll go down.
That's the distribution charge.
Right.
Yeah, that's apart from all the other charges.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay,
And
well,
then
that's better
it'll
than
go
14.
down, yeah, it'll go down to, no,
No,
14 is the
14
kilowatt.
is the supply charge.
Okay,
Uh,
oh, distribution charge.
Yeah. Yes, the supply charge is what we get through the aggregation contract.
Okay,
And the distribution charge and transmission charge and the energy efficiency, the renewable energy, that's all factored into the other part of the rate that you get. So if
what's
you're,
our current distribution charge?
Around 6.5 cents. And then if you have a heat pump, it'll go down to about 2.5 cents per
Okay.
kilowatt hour.
and that's for all the electricity you use. So wow, okay. That's a nice incentive.
And
Yeah,
so if you went through Mass Savior to automatically put into the program, currently, the only way to verify that you'll be enrolled in this new rate is by calling National Grid directly. Unitil is the only utility provider currently that has a customer service form that you fill out. Eversource and National Grid have not gotten that far yet. And that doesn't affect CEA at all. If you're part of CEA, you can get the heat pump rate and there'll be no conflicts. So you can get the Gloucester Basic 13.7 cents per kilowatt hour and the 2.5 cent per kilowatt hour distribution charge.
Wow, that's a nice bump. Makes you almost want to put a heat pump in.
Would it pay off fast enough to make it worth it?
Not for me.
Yeah.
I mean, I would have to put ductwork all over my house, which it costs about 30 grand to rip everything out. And put that in. And so a heat pump will never be, in my future.
Well, that would
I've
be,
got 'em.
that would be a really good handout for the energy fair.
Yeah.
Because there's a fair, I don't
Yeah.
do, you have the numbers for Mass Save, but actually how many people in Gloucester
Or per
use
CEA.
heat pumps or have had them installed? It'd be too hard to get.
You should be able to get that from Mass Save, you know, because they have to track for the state the number of audits they do and
Yep.
Other things. And so, you know, and then they track the number of rebates they give, and nobody's installing a heat pump without applying for a rebate. And so they have all that information.
I'm just not sure right now. I can access that information. There are some forms I still have to sign.
Yeah, there are privacy things
Yeah,
tied to that.
that's
because
what I
you're
have
giving
to
it
do,
Names and
privacy
addresses
forms.
and stuff, so.
So the Light people that run fuel assistance are getting really nice. That's probably good.
Cool.
For supplementals.
Yeah, because that's been on the docket since last fall. State charged DPU with lowering that rate. And that's great. Did you get that from Canary? Was that a Canary Media piece?
I've seen on Canary, WBUR.
Yeah.
I'm constantly looking at the National Grid just page as a whole to see if they'll send anything out, but I
Who's
still.
the guy? There's a guy, what is his name? Bruce Moll or something like that, writes for Commonwealth Magazine that does a really good job.
Yeah, Commonwealth is good.
On tracking energy issues in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
He's very thorough. He knows his stuff. I don't know if he's seized on this or not. But he might be a guy to chase down for information as well.
Sarah's outfit is usually
Yeah.
the
Could you say
best.
all that again, John? What was his name? John?
Bruce Moll.
MOHL, Bruce Moll from Commonwealth. It's a nonprofit. They put out a weekly newsletter, actually.
He does, he's their electricity guy.
Yeah.
I'm working on getting on the Gloucester CEA page, when National Grid finally puts out a like live form, direct link to that, so residents know that they don't have to leave CEA to get that distribution rate decrease. And just make it easier for residents to access that.
Great.
That's good news.
Great. That's good news. Yes, Tom?
I had written to National Grid back in August, and they said the rate is gonna be effective on November 1st.
Oh, okay.
They
So
better
I
have
expect
that
they
form
better allow people to apply for it in October.
soon. Hopefully.
Yeah, well, that's the winter, you know, that's the seasonal fuel price adjustment is November. So,
National Grid said to change their rates January.
they go up.
Eversource, from what I read, is predicted to go up 13% in their supply charge. They're usually a little more expensive than National Grid. Historic.
All right. Yeah, we talked a little bit about showing up for council support after the election. We'll take that up in our November meeting. And we've covered the energy fair. And we did talk, you and I talked a little bit about a presentation by Tom Green on the March program. Sometime this fall, which would be nice. It would be great to have maybe Greg or would like to come by. I mean, Greg and Tom. You hearing me, Tom? You guys could come by and do a few slides and talk about the March program.
For this group or?
Yeah.
Okay.
We get it, be nice to get the ties set up.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be great. All right, so if y'all want to come down on the 28th of October, that'd be great if you're free. Emma, when are you coming home?
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Can't hear you. Oh, you're muted.
Yep, sorry. I return Saturday.
Oh,
Oh,
great,
so you'll be here.
great.
Yeah. Did you say
Right.
it's September or October 28th? Like this
October.
Sunday or a month?
Month. A month
Okay.
out.
Great.
Yeah, we'll be, just as a side note, I think we're gonna try this last Thursday of the month. It seems to be more agreeable for most people's schedules. Okay, so I don't have anything else. Does anybody else have anything they want to talk about or cover? Are we good? All right, hearing none. Thank you for coming. And we'll see you in November, probably see you at the Energy Fair if you want to stop by. Be well, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Could somebody say what March stands